Welcome back to the grind. In this video, I'm going to discuss the best way to spend your rubies. These are a rare and valuable currency in the game, and you don't want to use them in a way that would be wasteful. There are a lot of ways to spend rubies, but only a few are what I would consider the most valuable. Now, the two main recommended uses for rubies, in my opinion, are gold chests and Super Sigil chests. Now, gold chests are by far the most valuable overall for your ruby use as far as progressing through the game. However, there are some situations where I do feel like Super Sigil chests are worthwhile. For example, if you are just trying to finish your last season branch that will get you to your mythic dragon, because it's a more efficient way to get sigils, but you lose out on other rewards. Now, getting those sigils so you can spend them on a season branch will get you some other progression rewards, and I'm going to go through a comparison on that shortly. But overall, if I had enough rubies at the end of a season that I could for sure get all three branches just by spending my rubies on gold chests and still have enough resources at the start of the next season, then I would spend it on gold chests. The reason Super Sigil chests are valuable is you have to spend less rubies to get more sigils, allowing you to, for example, have more rubies when the next season starts to spend on gold chests to help you complete the discount dragon. Now I'm going to go through a few different comparison tables. Now they're not perfect comparisons and they are more rough estimates, but it can help us sort of see the difference between spending rubies on Super Sigil chests versus gold chests. So as you can see on the right side, that is the total rewards you get from a season branch, in this case the base boost. And on the left is the amount of prizes you will get from spending that same amount of rubies, which I've estimated to be 150,000 rubies, on gold chests. Because the season branches do also give gold chests, I've subtracted the appropriate amount from the calculation for the gold chest rewards. Now this is to compare spending rubies to complete a complete season branch versus spending them on gold chests. Because as a free-to-play player especially, as you may have seen in my mythic free-to-play videos, you may need to spend rubies to complete a third final branch and maybe a little extra. So here you can see the difference in resources from gold chests and the base boost branch. Now, the amount of elemental embers is a little bit higher in the gold chests, and the amount of speed ups in days is about half that of if they were from gold chests. You would get some rune dusts, but you would be missing out on about 2,800 black pearls and 5,000 sigils from those gold chests, which could then be spent on a partial seasonal line. But if you're working on your third seasonal branch and you do not have enough rubies to get all the way there by spending them on gold chests, then this is a reasonable way to get a mythic dragon, which might be worth sacrificing some of those other resources. Now let's compare opening the same amount in gold chests in fortification versus using the Super Sigil chests to complete a rider line. That gives more gold chests, so I subtracted more from the gold chest calculation. This rider line would give you comparable amount of egg tokens, but less than half the speed ups, as well as half the amount of embers, no black pearls, and no sigils in addition. So in spending the rubies on the Super Sigil chests, you are sacrificing a fair amount of progression resources, specifically embers and timers. Now, comparing gold chests in PvP this time, which a lot of people open in PvP because they need the PvP resources, which, by the way, for overall progression, opening in fortification gives you more timers and more elemental embers and black pearls, which are critical for base progression. Now, I do understand PvP resources are important so you can do well in the event and get prizes from that, as well as help your team succeed. So you may have to open some in PvP. I try to open all my bronze chests in PvP, and if I think I need extra resources, I'll open some of my gold chests, but I'm trying to focus most of my gold chests in fortification now. So if you look at the egg tokens, you get 3 times the egg tokens from opening in PvP and compared to the dragon line. The dragon line gives you comparable amounts of mythic fragments. You still get significantly less days and speed ups. You don't get the black pearls, and of course you don't get the PvP resources. Now you don't get any rune dust from the gold chests, which you do get from the dragon line and the base boost line, I think, but I don't think any in the rider line. So you can see that by spending your rubies on Super Sigil chests, you do sacrifice a fair amount of progression resources. It's not as much as I expected once you account for the rewards in the season lines, and if you consider that this is enabling you to get a mythic dragon, then it might be worth the sacrifice for you. However, if this is just to get a complete second line or an additional fourth line, then it really is not as worth it unless you really need that last key or you're 1 or 2 lines away from getting the complete rider, then that might be beneficial for you. But the increased resources from opening gold chests instead is enough so that I'm working as hard as I can to shift all my ruby spending into gold chests while making sure I don't overspend and run out of the ability to get a mythic dragon. And farming gold chests for a little bit each day is a good way to help increase the amount of sigils you get from chests, as well as allowing me to open more gold chests and fortification because I'm getting PvP resources from the bronze chests. So I hope this video was helpful in understanding the value of the rubies and where to spend them in your situation.